I believe that magic mushrooms are going to help change the world. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how magic mushrooms has played a significant part in my personal and spiritual development. All right, so if you're like me, in high school, dabbled with magic mushrooms at a party, ate a bit, maybe ate a bit too much, tripped balls, and had a traumatic psychedelic experience, and you're like, no way, I'm not going to do that again. And the truth is, magic mushrooms got a bad rap back in the 70s because, it was a drug of hippies, and psychedelics overall were just considered dangerous. Now, the truth is, psychedelics allow you to really explore different perspectives, allow yourself to peel back the layers and discover different things about yourself, about society, about whatever it is that you choose to dive into. And that's why I think psychedelics are making such a big comeback right now. With all that's happening in the world and everybody's reality and identities imploding, people are stopping to ask themselves, well, who am I? What is my life about? Why am I here? And psychedelics are a great portal to discover those answers. I believe that magic mushrooms are making such a strong comeback because they're readily available. It's actually quite easy to get magic mushrooms. There's even mail order services that'll send mushrooms right to your house. And because in many states and different countries, magic mushrooms are kind of in a gray area where they're not legal and they're not illegal, there are companies that are able to send magic mushrooms in the mail. Now, if you watched my previous video on plant medicine, I go into detail as to how I discovered magic mushrooms and what some of those experiences were like for me. And in this video, I want to elaborate on that and also share some of the benefits of microdosing as well as psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy. So I believe magic mushrooms, psilocybin, are gaining popularity because really it is a very easy way to transition into plant medicine. If you are curious about experiencing plant medicine and not quite ready for ayahuasca or iboga yet, magic mushrooms is a great way to kind of dip your toe in, get a feel for it, and then go in big if you choose. You can take something as small as like a ½ gram and really feel the effects of it. You're gonna get some tingling, maybe a little bit of visuals, definitely some giggles for sure. And you can go up from there, starting with an ounce. Don't start with an ounce, starting with a gram is, kind of considered the average way to go in. However, there's some people that go up to 3 grams, even do a hero dose of 5 to 8 grams. And when you start getting to quantities that large, you're now getting into like the ayahuasca, DMT type level experience, if you're ready for something like that. Magic mushrooms right now are becoming legalized in many different states in the US, and they're even now approving it in Canada for people who are having assisted death and they choose to have a magic mushroom experience so that as they're on their way out, they are in a state of bliss, a state of relaxation, and letting go of some of the depression, anxiety they may have around the fear of dying. Now, magic mushrooms and psilocybin is being used in a medicinal context in psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy clinics as well. It's being used to treat depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Psilocybin is being used in these psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy clinics because psilocybin allows your brain to have greater neuroplasticity development, where it literally hard resets your brain so that the default brain, the beliefs, the patterns, the reactions that you have to previous experiences get wiped away, which means that you now start to make different decisions when you get triggered by experiences in life. And although the results of the session may not be immediate, you start to notice that weeks and months later, you're responding to things in a different way. You realize that things that used to trigger you don't quite affect you the way they once did. And why this is so important is because when we have an ingrained reaction to a previous experience, it creates that neural pathway that has us react to a certain situation in the same way. And with psilocybin stimulating neuroplasticity and having us see things in a different way, we then begin to choose a different response to what once triggered us. Now you make a different response enough times, you start developing new neural pathways. So if, for example, you start smoking when something triggers you, your immediate reaction is to grab a cigarette. Well, through psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy, you are then coached to make different choices, make different responses. And that's why psilocybin has amazing results with helping people to get off cigarettes and quit smoking. Now, psilocybin is also being used for depression, anxiety, and treating PTSD war veterans because it allows them to really let go of some of those traumatic memories and experiences from the past and develop new beliefs about who they are and their future. And this is why I believe that psilocybin is going to help change the world, because with what we're going through right now, there are so many people who are experiencing traumatic events and will have PTSD from the COVID pandemic that we're currently experiencing, and that depression, anxiety, and suicide in the future is going to be an even massive issue, and in my opinion, the true pandemic. So psilocybin and other plant medicines, I think, will only grow in popularity, and these psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy clinics that are opening up are going to be high in demand. You know, a few of these clinics that are currently operating and offering these sessions, if you're interested, are MindMed, Field Trip, and Wake. These are a few companies that are offering these type of sessions in retreats or in one-to-one sessions with a facilitator in their clinics. And I believe that this is really the future of mental health, where doctors, clinical physicians are going to offer plant medicine to the clients to help them get in deeper, to pull back the layers and really do the deep work. It's said that a psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy session could equal years of traditional therapy. And if you are interested in learning more about psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy, I'm going to put some of the links to MindMed, Field Trip, and Wake clinics down below. Do your research and see if maybe it's something that could benefit you. Now, many people are choosing to use plant medicines like psilocybin to dive deeper into their own spiritual growth and tap into higher realms of consciousness. Now, this has been highly effective for me because I believe that when I am in a psilocybin journey, first off, I'm very present, I'm grounded, and I believe it does alter your energetic frequency. You know, I've received some really beautiful messages, downloads, intuitive guidance while I am in ceremony, or I am, using psilocybin, whether it be, with friends on the beach or around a fire, whether it be, in a deep session listening to music. I believe that we really connect to our true self, to our higher consciousness during these states. And if you set up the right environment, you're with the right people, or maybe you're by yourself, and you go into a psychedelic session with true intention, I believe it can be really powerful for you. As a matter of fact, as we ramp up for New Year's Eve, I'm planning on doing a psilocybin ceremony with some of my friends, which are going to involve a bunch of us around a fire, some intention setting, some high vibration music, sharing within the group what it is we have planned for 2021, and just allowing the medicine to do its thing while we are in this beautiful container with this powerful collective consciousness of friends. Now, psilocybin has been used as a party substance before, and even though, it can be fun and provide you with, a lot of laughs, just remember that when you are experiencing psilocybin, you are going to be affected by the energy of those around you. So set and setting are very important. Make sure that if you are going to do psilocybin for some personal growth or some spiritual exploration, make sure you are in a safe environment where you feel comfortable, you're with people who are on the same vibration as you, and you go into it with a real intention. Sometimes people talk about having a bad trip while they're on a psychedelic, and the truth is that your external environment's gonna impact you. Who you're with is gonna have a really big effect on how the medicine impacts you also, and stuff is gonna come up. know that if you are doing psilocybin because you want to uncover some layers, then you have to be prepared to see some things and feel some experiences that maybe were deeply buried. And that's why set and setting is so important. To be with people who are also there to support you, where, if things do come up and you do start to have, and I don't want to say a bad trip, but maybe dealing with a challenging time because you're facing some emotions or some deeply suppressed experiences, pain, trauma that you've buried, and that comes up, then you want to make sure that you're in a safe container with people who are there to hold space for you and support you through that process. I also suggest that if you are going to do mushrooms in a personal exploration context, have a journal, have a notepad, something to write down, what you're experiencing during the journey and especially afterwards, because we receive so much guidance and so much valuable knowledge and information that you're going to want to document it so that you can refer back to it, over the coming days as you integrate what it is that you've learned. A microdosing is something that I've done in the past for up to 2 to 3 months at a time. And what microdosing is essentially, it's like a 0.1 of a gram of psilocybin. And some companies will include lion's mane or reishi or other vitamins or nutrients to help enhance the effectiveness of the microdosing. And with microdosing, there's many different ways to do it. I used to do 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off, and I do that for about 2 to 3 months. And for me, I tried microdosing because I'm a big fan of magic mushrooms, and I also heard that it's great for creativity, really helps stimulate that creative side of your brain to just write and to express yourself. I also wanted to experience microdosing because I was back in the city. This was back in Toronto a couple of years ago, and I was back here from Costa Rica, and I just felt that the city had a very dense vibe, and I felt a bit of that anxiousness coming back. So doing the psilocybin microdose in the morning helped me reset, set a nice baseline for me, and just allowed me to start the day in a very calm, present, and grounded way. And as I mentioned before, if microdosing is something of interest to you, there are many companies that will actually sell you the pre-packaged psilocybin capsules and deliver them right to your door. So if you're questioning experimenting with psilocybin and have any concerns about it, there's tons of information online about psilocybin, the benefits of it, the pros and the cons. From what I know, from what I've researched, I don't think anyone's ever OD'd on mushrooms and died from eating too many. And I also believe that mushrooms are not addictive because it's not something that you can do every day and have the same effect. Your body will develop a tolerance for it. And I believe that, if you are doing drugs or substances because of an addiction that's rooted in some sort of lack or some sort of greed or, whatever that driving force is for you, I actually think that mushrooms will help you get clear and resolve whatever that root cause may be that's driving you to that addiction. Mushrooms for me have brought me so much knowledge, so much guidance, and just have been a lot of fun. Like I find that I'm able to let go, laugh. I'm extra sensitive to music, sound, touch, and really it's a very special form of plant medicine that I believe if more people enjoyed psilocybin, we'd probably be living in a happier world, because the truth is that, when you tap into your true soul, when you're connected to your consciousness, you really are connected to love, joy, and gratitude. And really, I believe that it connects you to your heart. And when you're living your life from that place and context, then you're just vibing real high. And if more people realize that happiness is a choice, happiness is within us at all times, we have it available. We just have to let go of the things that get in the way of us realizing that joy, happiness, gratitude, abundance are actually how we're supposed to be living. And the beauty of magic mushrooms is it allows us to let go of some of those limiting beliefs. It allows us to let go of those fears and those mental boundaries that we put on ourselves, and helps us to reset so we can develop new perspectives, we can develop empowering beliefs about who we are and how we want to live our lives. So, if magic mushrooms are something that you feel could be beneficial to you, I invite you to do your research and learn what it is that magic mushrooms has to offer you. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. And if you got some value from this video, please feel free to hit like. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe to watch more of my content. I'll be doing more videos about plant medicine in the near future. And please share it with someone who you know who may be interested in learning more about psilocybin. All right, I want to thank you for watching. I really enjoyed sharing with you why I feel that magic mushrooms are going to help change the world. And if you do decide to partake, then I wish you a safe, beautiful, blissful journey. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.